Welcome back, Lightning Within 5 listeners. I'm your host, Jennifer Jensen, alongside
Senior Airman Nordheim.
You mean Staff Sergeant Select Zachary Nordheim.
Yeah, that's true.
He's one of the best PAs that we have right now, and I'm so proud of him. He just finished ALS, and he has been gone for a hot minute because you were honor guard, and then you went straight to ALS, correct?
Yep, that's correct. And right in the middle, I had a baby. So.
Oh yeah, that's
very, very busy.
Most important one. So what's it like being a dad?
It's been awesome. Those sleepless nights definitely real, but she's an angel. I love her so much. Yeah, you definitely look at things a lot differently.
Nordy's going to be joining us this episode because yet again, Sergeant Brosum has vanished. He was taken from us by a temporary duty. So eventually he will return, but I don't know when that will be. First order of business, I would just like to say that my thoughts and my prayers are with all the families of the deployed military members. I know I have been on both sides of the spectrum. I've been, the one being deployed and I'm the one sitting at home. So I just wanted everyone to know, we are praying for the best outcome for y'all. And I know it's a difficult time right now, but there are so many resources on base. I imagine these times are scary for your generation of airmen, Nordy. For my generation, the Iraq-Afghanistan generation, we went through extensive training, but we were also mentally prepped to go overseas and deal with, the bad guys. So coming from a crusty Iraq vet, my best advice for those deploying for the first time is to remember your training. When things are going weird and you panic, remember your training and fall back on that always. And also always prepare for the worst. I remember my very first day in Iraq. I was walking from the jet to my dorm room. Not really a dorm room. I was in a Connex box, right? And I looked up in the sky. This is 21-year-old Jen. And I was like, oh, look, everybody, a shooting star. It was a missile. And they all call me stupid. Yeah, so that was my first night. I spent it in a concrete bunker, so that was good. But there's a lot to learn from, those kind of experiences. Personally, I became more grateful for the life that I did have back home. And it really puts into perspective, why you put the uniform on every day. You are going to fight the bad guys and you're going to, defend your country and your family. So good luck, everybody. The end of March is here. I didn't even know it was March. It went by that fast.
These 3 beginning months have gone by so quick.
Yes. But with the end of March is springtime. So April, all the spring activities are coming up. We have spring break. I know everybody that lives on this side of the bridge is not a fan of going over to PCB right now. There's a lot of craziness. Did you see there's shootings over there and stuff?
Yeah, it seems like every time this year when we get an influx of tourists in the area, we have a increase in certain activities.
100%. But on the lighter side, spring break does mean, other things are happening. We have the egg hunt on base. Did you see that Carlos Mencia is coming? He's supposed to be here today.
He's doing a comedy thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a pretty funny guy. Spring also means beach trips. So, Nordy, would you like to give them a beach safety? Nordy is our safety monitor. So
put me on the spot. Make sure you're tracking those flag conditions, right? If you're going to PCB side, if you're going to a beach that has a lifeguard or posted flags, make sure you're advising those. You got green, yellow, red, double red, purple, and black flag, I believe is one as well. You can look those up. PCB has a great webpage with a lot of information on, all your tourist things.
And I heard you brief somebody about rip currents.
Yeah, it's difficult, right? I experienced a rip current young, and it's really scary. The best thing you can do is relax and kind of ride it, let it pull you out. And then from there, you're going to waste so much energy trying to swim against it that you're not winning that battle. So go along with the flow, go out, and somebody should hopefully see you and radio in and try to get you some help.
Also, if you're going outdoors, take your bug spray, because I don't know about anybody else, but the no-see-ums have been eating me alive lately.
Does bug spray work with them?
Not as effectively as I wish it would. They're awful. But the thing I hate more than that is yellow flies and fire ants. Yeah. Holy God, Florida just tries to kill you one insect at a time, I swear. If you want to see what other events are coming up for Tyndall, which as the weather warms up, we're going to have more and more because FSS is on it. They want to ensure that our airmen's morale is up and the families are being taken care of. So you can always go check all those things out at tyndall.af.mil. Go to the Tyndall bulletin board, and all the events on and off base, if they're approved, will be listed on our bulletin board. Along with talking about events, one of my favorite events is coming up, and it loops right back into what we were just talking about, mental health. Elevate Expo. It's not coming to Tyndall until May, but it is a heavy, heavy focus on mental health. Like I said, you can't be an effective warfighter if your mind is not in the fight. So this is so important for people to go and check out what resources they have available. Personally, after Iraq, therapy saved my life, literally. I thought I was going crazy because I was like, oh, I'm in the Air Force. Like, almost getting blown up. That's normal, right? Like, yeah, I definitely needed therapy. So that literally saved my life. So I hope that other people seek mental health, and it's not a bad thing. Also coming up is Month of the Military Child. April is it. I can't speak enough about the military kids. And now, Nordy, you are in this loop. You have a military child.
I do.
I think the military kids deserve the world. Like, these kids are so resilient, and not like willingly resilient. Like, they're kind of forced into these situations where they have to adapt and overcome a lot more than a child that has been in the same school for 20 years. I mean, you're a military kid, right, Nordy?
Yeah, my dad did 20 years in the Air Force, deployed a lot, TDY'd a lot, and I don't know, each military child is different. And I think that's what makes it a unique situation for everybody. No two kids are the same or experience the same thing. Even siblings within the same household, just those few years apart, everything's different. So,
did you enjoy being a military kid?
I did, but again, my situation, what I went through was a lot different. I think my sister didn't like it, but you know.
So everyone, just keep in mind, next month is the celebration month to celebrate all these resilient, amazing kids who did not ask to be put in these situations, but, you know, overcome everything that is up against them. Deployments, PCSs, TDYs. I love Month of the Military Child. Last but not least, who is ready for the 2026 Gulf Coast Salute?
Heck yeah.
Nordy loves him some jets. There's so much happening at this air show. Last time was great. There was a lot, but this year is going to be bigger and better and louder. So I want everybody to brace themselves. If you love jets, if you love the military, or if you want your kids to be more into STEM, that is the main focus of this air show is STEM. I think that's so cool. I wish I was good at STEM. I wouldn't be on this microphone. Were you good at math and science?
Math, yes. I loved math. Science was not my thing growing up.
Really?
Always my worst grade.
Usually those two go hand in hand.
I mean, a B is not bad, but it was
okay.
Yeah.
There's just going to be so much happening at this air show, but we are going to let our very special guest, Major Zachary Taylor, aka Zeke, he's going to explain everything about the air show right after this break. So stick around.
This episode of Lightning Within 5 is brought to you by the 325th Fighter Wing Public Affairs Shop. For all the latest news, photos, videos, and more, check out our Facebook page, Instagram, and our official website, tyndall.af.mil.
Welcome back, everybody. And we are here with our very special guest. He's kind of a celebrity. I'm just going to throw that out there. He doesn't think so, but we have Major Zachary Taylor, also known as Zeke. Welcome to the show, sir.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right. So you are here to talk all things airshow. Everybody is so excited for this. So why don't you start off by telling us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll roll into the airshow details.
Yeah, sounds great. Major Zachary Taylor, go by call sign Zeke. I'm an F-35 pilot here at Tyndall Air Force Base and just transitioned to the F-35. Prior assignments, I flew F-15Cs, 6 years in Japan flying that, and then I did 2 years on the Thunderbirds as Thunderbird 2 on the left wing. So pretty excited to now be at Tyndall after flying air shows here on the Thunderbirds, and now kind of promoting the air show and helping out the Thunderbirds as they bring their act back to Tyndall Air Force Base, Panama City. I'm their representative here from the wing, and very excited to bring him here.
And speaking of being on the Thunderbirds, you were also on the Netflix show, The Thunderbirds, right?
I was. So my first year on the team, we got to film a Netflix documentary about the cultural change and the difficulties of being on the Thunderbirds. So pretty cool project to see come to fruition and finally on Netflix.
It is difficult because you guys are gone like 362 days of the year.
Yeah,
right?
if there is a day, then we're probably gone. A lot of air shows, a lot of flying, very important mission, but very busy, very difficult.
Yeah. Was your wife a fan of that?
That's a great question. It was difficult. So for me, the Thunderbirds was the best job ever.
Oh, yeah.
But the only difficult part of it was the family aspect. I had a 2-year-old son, and then I had a daughter born about 2 or 3 weeks into training for the Thunderbirds.
Oh, no.
Which you're not going to get baby leave when you're on the Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
So the team did everything they could to support me. But my wife was an absolute saint, able to take care of 2 babies, a newborn essentially by herself, and travel to over half the shows each year.
Aww.
In and out of airports, seeing the world. It was special.
Aw.
Yeah, I can imagine. I just had a kid last 4 months ago, and it's been a wild ride. So, and I was doing honor guard at the time. I was able to stop, but I can't imagine. That's intense.
It was a full family commitment, and
Yeah.
when I kind of led my wife down a road of, well, there's no chance I'm getting hired. I mean, it's the Thunderbirds. I applied, and I'm like, all right, well, there's no chance I'm getting called back from the semifinals to the finals, and I got called back. And then I did the finals, went and did a flying evaluation and a bunch of interviews, and I flew back to Japan, and I was like, well, that was awesome, but there's zero chance I'm the guy. So I kind of led her down this road of, all right.
This is just wishes and dreams.
Yeah, all right, good job. Good job for applying. And then I got the call, and I was like, all right, well, we've gone this far, so we've got to do it. So it was wild.
So when you say finals, like, I think we've asked this question before to, I asked Colonel Goldfein, like, oh, what does it take to be a Thunderbird? But you guys are essentially like auditioning, correct?
It's a pretty important time in the Thunderbirds history. Post-COVID, they did a full rewrite of the team. And one of the biggest things they did was made the interview process more difficult. Mm-hmm. It was trying to get the team away from self-promotion, like posting on your Instagram to build your own brand. It's all about building the Thunderbirds brand. So in that, you went from, instead of just being in line and who do you know and how well do you know them to be a Thunderbird, it became, looking at who is going to be the best person for this team to promote the Thunderbirds. Yeah. And they added in, for the first time in a 70-year history, a flying evaluation, which, seems like kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah.
But it's also a situation where, like, you're not comfortable. I was an F-15C pilot, and I got thrown in the backseat of an F-16 for the first time ever, and I had to go fly loops, rolls, and bursts off of Thunderbird 1.
Yeah.
Out in, Las
my
Vegas.
gosh.
So it's a situation designed kind of for you to fail, but it's like, how do you fail? Are you the type of person who's going to like aggressively fight to get yourself back in position and you'll do anything to be there? Probably not the right person, like a little too aggressive.
Yeah.
Are you the type of person who's off to the side and you're like, I don't like this?
Yeah.
You know, like I'm a little too uncomfortable. I'm going to hide over here. Also not the person, but who's the person and who are the people that are going to really see the opportunity, try to get better, also know that know their limits, and in the debrief are asking the right questions. Who are those people that want to be good and are going to approach it the right way? So they added that to the interview process, and it's much more rigorous and in-depth to find the right people.
You guys, like your wingtips are so close together. You have to trust the other people not to like sway one way or another, right?
Yeah, and as you see the Thunderbirds fly here in Panama City in a few weeks, these are the tightest formations the Thunderbirds have ever flown, and they can continue to get tighter each year. And that's part of the rewrite. And the Thunderbirds motto is blind trust, which is kind of simple on the surface, but when you really think about it, when I was Thunderbird 2, I was looking in some of the maneuvers at a single bolt or rivet or line of rivets on Thunderbird 1's jet. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, my right wingtip is, in the narration, they say 12 inches. We were way inside of 12 inches.
Oh my gosh.
And I have, I have,
oh my gosh, that's crazy.
You know, you have full blind trust, and one that number one is flying you to the correct position in the airfield and in the demonstration. I also have full blind trust that number 3 was flying off of his rivets, you know, his positions.
Yeah. So
that we could make that optic for the crowd. And then also number 4 is beneath us, very, very close. So the blind trust motto goes throughout the entire demonstration, and it's really alive in the demonstration with the 6 pilots flying.
Yeah. Oh, I'm out. I trust no one, so.
I like to think of it as like a bunch of dancers with knives taped to them, and they're like, they have to get really close to each other but not touch each other, or else it's like,
or stab each
other. Yeah.
Did you fly in our last air show?
I did. So first air show after Hurricane Michael, 2024, 2024 Gulf Coast Salute Air Show. We brought Thunderbirds to Tyndall, and then we flew out over Pier Park, which, you know, it was amazing. Huge turnout, and we understood that, you know, it was bigger than the Thunderbirds, the air show. So much emotion tied to this area to see all these people come into the local area, have a huge event. You know, after Michael, you know, there hasn't been that much. There's been so much effort from the community and from the base on just rebuilding. Yeah. Now to kind of put it back on display, we understood that, you know, as a team, like we were part of it, but it was so much bigger than us.
Yeah. Yeah.
For the Thunderbirds, they have such a rigorous schedule. And, you know, this year specifically with real world events going on, like it is very difficult for them to travel and to get around. But they're going to fight through that, you know, so they may be going through all kinds of hurdles to get the jets and the people here. It's a team of 135 people, 32 different job types in one team. And they're going to bring about 75 of them on the road. Whether they can get airlift or not, you know, they're going to be here and they're going to fight to be here. But for the team and the guys flying, or guys and girls flying, over water air shows are the best. You're talking the smoothest air you've ever felt. You can really hone in your skills over the water. You just can't get that in an over airfield environment. So they're going to be extremely excited to be flying over the water for that week. And I think we'll probably see some of the tightest formations, and I'm convinced we will, that the Thunderbirds have ever flown, especially this early in the season.
Yeah. I never thought of it. Like, the air is smoother over the water. I never thought of that. I was just thinking, like, visually it's prettier.
Yeah, well, in the demo, you're not really looking out much. The individuals flying are going to be pretty focused on the airplanes next to them. Every once in a while, you see a big condo. I remember very vividly here.
Y'all got pretty close to those too. That was intense.
Talk about blind trust. Number one's got it. He's flying the formation where it needs to go, and you just hold your position because everybody else is relying on you behind you or next to you, and you see a condo coming up pretty quick, and it's the ultimate blind trust. Just trust that number one has it.
We got too far ahead. So the dates of the air show this year are April 11th and 12th.
Correct. And everything's weather dependent, but the Thunderbirds never stop flying, and that's because you start this season in a position you want, but they continue to get better throughout the year. So the positions move in closer and tighter, and they have to practice. So they'll be practicing Friday. And what they're practicing kind of depends on what they need, but you can expect probably a 4 ship in the morning and then the full Delta, all 6 jets in the afternoon. But a great opportunity to see the show, still a practice, and then Saturday, Sunday is when they really bring the heat, and they're dialed in, ready to go after all their debriefs.
Gotcha. And this year's heavy focus is STEM.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. The airshow community, it's a very tight-knit group, and they travel all around the country, and as a total organization, the airshow world is definitely trying to cater to the local communities. The Thunderbirds are pushing that charge, and what you'll see is Friday night, Aaron Besant Park, 6 to 8. The Thunderbirds will be there. The Army Golden Knights are jumping into the event, probably a night jump with flares coming off of them, jumping into the park, live music. And then I think there'll be a lot of static displays. Last I heard was Army helicopters, potentially tanks, all kinds of stuff out there for the families and for the local community, free to the public. Just show up, enjoy it. The Thunderbirds will be on stage. You can get autographs. They'll be there. A really, really cool event focused on the community.
I'm really excited for that. Last year was a little bit different, but it sounds a lot more fun this year, so I'm excited for that.
Yes.
Along with Friday, come out Friday night, meet them, and then Saturday and Sunday, the air show, actual meat and potatoes, is going to be from 10 in the morning until 3 p.m. So make sure you're bringing your sunblock if you're sitting on the beach. If you are in your boat and you're watching from the water, please know that there will be a roped off area, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
The aerobatic container where the actual aircraft are flying is a sanitized area, no boats, no essentially non-mission essential people inside of the aerobatic container. I believe the Coast Guard will be out there enforcing that. So just keep an eye out. It's the coolest spot to watch is definitely from a boat.
Yeah.
You can't hear the music and the narration, but it's definitely an amazing view. Just make sure you're following the rules.
Can you talk about what the process has been like coming off the Thunderbirds and coming back to like an operational unit? Like what's that transition life been like? How does it kind of affect you, and what experiences are you using moving forward?
Yeah, so everybody flying for the Thunderbirds, and the entire team of 135 individuals, they all had a career in the Air Force before going to the Thunderbirds, and then they'll all have a career after the Thunderbirds going back into the regular Air Force. So for me, it was just an opportunity for me to really push myself and give back to something way bigger than myself. It was not for me. It was not for my glorification or self-motivation, self-promotion, none of that. So going back into the regular Air Force this is what I signed up for, It is very humbling, though, to go from, first it was a F-15C instructor and an evaluator and go to the Thunderbirds. And it's like, man, I don't even know how to start the airplane.
They're that different?
Oh, every airplane is that different.
Really? Okay.
You can't remember which button to push to talk on the radio. And you're like, all right, I know what I want to say. I just don't know how to say it.
Yeah.
So I had to go through that same thing now going from the Thunderbirds where you are so proficient in what you're doing to now I'm learning the F-35 and I have no idea what's happening.
Yeah.
I'm back to the basics of how do I start the airplane? What are the systems in the airplane? How do I talk on the radio? What do I plug in first when I sit down? You are very much back to the basics, and that humbling environment kind of takes you out of what just was for me, which was the Thunderbirds, and where am I at now? I'm very rooted in, my job now is to fly F-35s and to be the best F-35 pilot I can be. And that's going to be a very long process to learn that. So that's kind of where I'm at now is, just back to what I signed up for.
Does it hurt your heart a little bit to be in a 35 and not a 15?
No.
Nice.
I've thoroughly enjoyed everything I've flown. Now, the F-15C is my first love, and just such an amazing airplane. A lot of history here at Tyndall with the F-15C, and I will forever idolize that airplane, like forever. But you can also see as the world changes, airplanes change, missions change, and now to be in the most advanced and cutting edge technology, the F-35, I feel very honored. Yeah. Kind of surreal at times to sit in that airplane and, you know, see the screens turn on and all this stuff start working. And it's like, man, this is an unbelievable opportunity. So it's not the Eagle. It's not my first love, but I'm amazed by the airplane.
If you had to describe each aircraft the way it flies to a vehicle, what would you describe them all as?
Oh, man. The F-15C was like the ultimate American muscle car. It will give you whatever you ask, and whatever it has, it's going to give it to you. If you pull back on the stick, the flight controls move. Whether it has the energy to do it or not, it's going to try. The F-16 to me was like the ultimate sports car, maybe even like supercar. Like, it is twitchy, it is sensitive, but it is unbelievably powerful. Super cool to fly, and no canopy bow, which for me was like a really cool sensation. Every once in a while you look out and you're like, oh my gosh, like I am sitting on top of the world right now. Like there's nothing around me. So such a cool plane to fly. The F-35 is like the Tesla. There's so much going on that is so different than the 4th gen fighter jet. So to see all the technology and to try to understand it is very difficult. But once you do, it's very intuitive and it's giving you a lot of information. Very cool to fly, but very different than anything we've ever seen, which I feel like was the Tesla when it came out. You know, like, what is this giant screen? I don't have a engine cluster anymore. Wait, what is self-drive? You know, like, it's different.
We've heard this story so many times from some of the pilots. Like, they've always wanted to be a pilot, like since they were little. So what would be some advice that you would give a little kid that, you know, is looking at the Thunderbirds and saying, I want to do that someday? Like, what would be your best advice for them?
It's such a great question. And sometimes I don't understand like how I ended up here. Because this was my dream since I was a kid. And really I had a grandfather who loved aviation, and I joked with him until the day he died that he brainwashed me, you know, because it was all summer, every summer we talked about airplanes, and that's what we did. We flew airplanes, flew model airplanes. It was always aviation. So I would say that if you are a kid listening to this and you are super interested in flying, just stay immersed, start researching, start talking about it, get involved, go to air shows, you know, do anything you can to keep that dream alive. And it's okay to have a dream and talk about it. You know, some people think like, oh, I want to be a Thunderbird, or, you know, I want to be a fighter pilot, whatever it is. It seems like too lofty of a goal to talk about and kind of like embarrassing. Yeah. Because if you don't achieve it, then, you know, it's like, oh, well, I didn't achieve my dream. Yeah. I would change that thought. You know, you have a dream, chase it, be confident in it, and tell as many people about it as possible, because they're going to start helping you and kind of, you know, focusing your attention to those dreams. That's what my family did for me. And then for the parents out there were so many kids at these air shows in the autograph lines. There are kids that you're seeing them in multiple cities, and you're like, you're at another air show, you know, like it was so cool to see some of the, I don't know, like routine or like just consistent people throughout the air show community. And a lot of them were parents supporting their kids who were just very, very interested in aviation. So they would show up, they would talk to us, they would know our names, and, you know, you become more personable like with them the more you see them. So just keep them involved, get them out there, talk about it, buy airplane, you know, models, and, you know, just be a kid and have fun.
Oh, I love that. Nordy, what was your dream when you grew up?
To make a movie. So I'm like kind of there.
Yeah, you're getting there.
I'm on the track.
Yeah.
It's
okay. I can see it.
There's a lot of directors who like didn't make their big thing till they were like 40, 50. So I got plenty of time.
Yeah.
I'm not pressured by it.
I have faith in you. I think no dream is too big for kids. Like, the world is your oyster. Like, you just have to put enough
Exactly.
passion and effort into it, and you can achieve whatever you want.
Yeah, I was listening the other day to a speech from an old Thunderbird 1, my first commander, and he was talking about the Thunderbirds mission. And it's traditionally to recruit, retain, and inspire, but you can't just recruit through recruiting. The Thunderbirds have a amazing way of inspiring people, and it's through being extraordinary.
Mm-hmm.
So they go out there and they do these extraordinary things in human achievement in order to inspire people, and through that you're building those dreams for those kids. They're out there, all these demonstrations, they're out there putting their lives on the line to do something extraordinary.
Yeah.
And for a lot of them, it was their lifelong dream to be there, and now they're motivating and inspiring these kids. And you don't have to be a kid to be inspired.
Yeah.
So there's adults who may never fly or do anything like this, but they're inspired to do something great in their career field or in their life, whatever it is. It's because somebody else is out there doing something extraordinary in the name of service. So it's phenomenal.
All right, we're going to wrap it up here. We can't wait to see you all at the air show. Remember, April 11th and 12th are the main days for the air show. And come to the meet and greet, meet the Thunderbirds, the Golden Knights. Everybody will be there and having a good time on Friday. So we want to say thank you, Major Taylor, for coming and doing this for us. And
Of course.
we hope the air show is as amazing as it is planned out to be.
Yeah, I really think everybody's really going to enjoy it. It's a great family environment, a ton of acts coming in, a great way for Panama City to kind of bounce back from Hurricane Michael and see the excellence of Panama City, Tyndall, and the entire acts coming in. It's going to be a great event.